Today's video is all about how to become more visible at work, and I'm going to share with you 5 easy ideas on how to be self-promotional at work. Now, before you click off this video because you heard the word self-promotion, I want to let you know that the ideas and tips I'm going to share with you in this video are not sleazy, they are not braggy, they are not salesy in any way. They are simply here to help you promote the value that you offer to a team or to a company. Being visible is incredibly important for emerging leaders, and I hope this video will help you. But before we get started, I'm Cara Ronan. I'm a leadership coach, and I help emerging leaders just like you build visibility and influence so you can unlock your leadership potential. I'm also a 2-time best-selling Udemy course instructor for my video courses Business Etiquette 101 and the Assertive Communication Skills Masterclass. I will link to them below if you want to check them out. Now, on my website, I offer a free download for emerging leaders. It's a leadership evaluation toolkit, a 35-question self-assessment on leadership so you can see where you are positioned as a leader. If you want to check out that download, then head over to my website, executive-impressions.com, fill out one of the forms, and you will get immediate access to it, and I will put a link in the description below. Now let's get back to the topic of how to be more visible at work. Now, one of the biggest hurdles I find emerging leaders have is that they assume their work is going to speak for itself. They assume that if they keep their head down, stay at their desk and do a good job at work, they will automatically be noticed for the hard work that they're putting in and for the results that they're achieving. If nobody knows who you are, if nobody knows what you've achieved, if you are invisible in the office, what are your chances of being noticed for a promotion? In order for you to be considered for a promotion, you have to be visible. People have to know what you are working on, what you have accomplished, and what value you bring to a team and also to the company. So for emerging leaders, it is incredibly important that you start to raise your visibility in the office and you start to promote your work and your worth to a company. Now, how do you do that? Well, I'm going to share with you now 5 ideas on how you can increase your visibility at work. Idea number 1 is to share your opinions and ideas in meetings. Yes, this means you have to speak up and let people know what you think during meetings. Now, is this something that you hold back from? Is this something that you don't do when you attend meetings? It's a common problem for emerging leaders. They often have the fear of being wrong, of being challenged, of being questioned, or of sounding unintelligent. I get it. It can be really daunting to speak up in meetings and share your ideas and share your opinions with everyone else in the room, especially if you are a young professional, if you are new to a team, if you are from a minority group, or if English is your second language and you need a bit more time to think and construct out your sentences. It can be really daunting in those situations. But for emerging leaders, it's critical that you learn to speak up and you begin to share your ideas and opinions with other people in the room. If you don't share your opinions or ideas in the meeting, if you keep quiet the whole time during the meeting, they might start to wonder why you are there. They might start to wonder why you are in that meeting room at all. So you need to start sharing and confidently sharing your ideas and your opinions during meetings. Now, if you need more encouragement as to why you should speak up in meetings, then you want to check out this video, 5 reasons why you should speak up in meetings. It's on my YouTube channel. I will link to it as well below. But if you are already convinced that you should speak up in meetings, that it's important for you and you want to know how you can do it better, then you want to check out this video above and I will link to it below. It's how to confidently speak up during meetings. And in that video, I share with you some strategies that you can use during your next business meeting. Idea number 2 is to ask questions in meetings. One of the easiest ways to become visible during meetings and at work in general is to ask questions during those meetings. So you might hold back from asking questions during meetings because you don't want people to think that you don't understand, or you don't want to appear that you are not intelligent or as intelligent as other people in the room. But in reality, it does the opposite. When you speak up in meetings, it makes you look interested in what that person is saying. It makes you look engaged in the conversation and engaged and involved in the meeting. Now, this is really important as an emerging leader because you want to make sure that you look like you are part of a team and that you are also contributing to the team and to whatever goals that your team has to achieve. Now, for the speaker, the person speaking during that meeting, it makes them feel important. And this is incredibly important for emerging leaders, especially if that person speaking is a leader, is a manager of some sort. You are going to make them feel important. You are going to make them feel interesting if you ask them questions. If your aim is to get noticed for promotions, then asking questions of high-level decision makers is a fantastic strategy to start implementing in your career growth. As I said at the beginning of this video, you can't keep your head down in the office and hope to be noticed for promotions. You need to make yourself visible, and visible in front of decision makers who can have an impact on your career. When you're visible in front of them, they will remember you and you will be noticed for the next promotion. Idea number 3 is to volunteer for a challenging project. So I once had a meeting with the head of an accounting firm, and he complained to me that his team wouldn't put their hand up for stretch projects or for challenging projects. Now, they were a very intelligent group of people, yet they weren't putting their hands up for these opportunities that were being given to them, these opportunities to help them become more visible and to help them build their reputation in the office and in the industry as a whole. Now, this is quite a common issue for emerging leaders, and I think the main reason is because when you're advancing in your career, early on in your career, you can easily advance by just advancing your technical skill, by doing a good job at work and in the office and at your desk. But as you move higher in your career, as you move up to a mid-level position or even a senior level position, there are a lot of different things that are required from you. As you advance in your career, it gets a lot more competitive. You have more responsibility, people have more expectations of you, non-performing employees get weeded out and high-performing employees remain. If you want to advance in your career, you need to show that you are one of those high-performing employees. You need to show that you are ambitious, that you are willing to learn new skills, do new tasks, willing to have a growth mindset that is required to advance in your career. And volunteering for stretch projects is a fantastic way for you as an emerging leader to show that you are ready for a challenge, that you are one of those high-performing employees. If you aren't happy with where you are at in your career currently and you want to advance but you don't seem to be able to get there, then maybe you need to think about what you are doing, what you have been doing in the past. How have you been trying to advance? And try to do something a little bit different. Maybe volunteering for stretch projects is something you have never even considered before. Because remember, if you keep doing the same things over and over again, you cannot expect different results. If you want different results, you need to change what you're doing. So if you're trying to advance in your career and you just can't seem to get there, and you have never volunteered or put your hand up for stretch projects or more challenging assignments, then maybe that's something that you need to think about doing. Now, how do you do this? It's not as difficult as it sounds. All it requires you to do is to approach your manager or your boss, tell them that you are interested in doing more challenging projects and working on more complicated assignments. All it takes is one conversation to prove to your boss and your manager that you have a growth mindset, that you are ambitious, that you have initiative, and you are proactive as an emerging leader. This is crucial for leaders in the future of work. Idea number 4 is to ask for feedback. Now, you might be saying to yourself, well, how could asking for feedback possibly help me become more visible in a positive way? Isn't asking for feedback all about what I'm doing wrong? No, it is not. Feedback goes both ways. We need to look at the positives and the things that you do need to improve on. But when it comes to building your visibility, asking for feedback is a fantastic way to draw attention to the work that you have done and the things that you have accomplished. And it creates the opportunity for you to talk about it in more detail. It can be hard to tell others about your achievements. It can be hard to talk about your achievements without sounding self-promotional. But asking for feedback from your boss and opening up the opportunity to discuss what you've been working on, what value you've brought, and what you have achieved for the team gives you a fantastic space to do that. Another reason why asking for feedback is so helpful is because your boss is busy. They're busy people that have a lot of of meetings to attend, they have a lot of things to take care of. So asking for feedback and sitting down with them during a meeting to discuss what you've been working on, what you have achieved, it gives them the space to focus on your work. And it brings realization to the amazing work that you have been doing. Now, if you want more resources on how to get noticed for your hard work, then I have 2 resources that I want to share with you. The first is one of my podcast episodes, episode 4, called How to Get Noticed and Rewarded for the Great Work That I Do. I will link to that in the description below. And I have a YouTube video called How to Get Your Boss to Notice Your Hard Work. I will link to that below as well, and I'll put a card on the screen above so you can check it out. Idea number 5 is to post frequent, intelligent content on LinkedIn. Now, if you've watched other YouTube videos on my channel, you will know that I am a big fan of LinkedIn. I use it all of the time. But what I find with emerging leaders is they don't use it enough. A lot of people don't post enough content on LinkedIn. They don't share enough intelligent thoughts on LinkedIn, and they simply scroll through their LinkedIn feed without contributing anything, without contributing any comments or any posts themselves. This is a big mistake, especially if you want to be more visible at work. And it's likely that you do since you are watching this YouTube video. Now, starting a conversation or contributing to a conversation on LinkedIn will help you build your visibility as an emerging leader. It helps you get noticed. It helps people learn what you represent, what you stand for, what your leadership brand is, your area of expertise, your area of knowledge as a professional. And all of this helps you build your reputation as a leader. But the key is to post intelligent and frequent content related to your area of expertise. Now, when I say frequent content, I mean posting about 2 to 3 times a week. The more you post, the more visible you will be on the LinkedIn platform. But posting every day is impossible for most people, especially if you have a full-time job and full-time employment to take care of. So posting 2 to 3 times a week should be sufficient for you to raise your visibility, especially if you aren't posting at all right now. And you also need to post intelligent content. Now, LinkedIn is not Facebook. People don't want to see random posts about random things, your weekend at the beach or even your holiday. People want intelligent content. It's a great place for intelligent conversation. So you have to contribute that to this platform. And you also need to make sure that whatever you post is in line with your leadership brand. This is incredibly important. So if you're posting about random things that are not related to your leadership brand at all, it's going to cause confusion in people. They're not going to know what your leadership brand is, who you are, what you stand for, and what you represent. Now, what kinds of things can you post? Well, I have a whole list of things that you can try out. So opinion posts work really well if you see a piece of news and you have a particular stance on that issue or an opinion on that issue. Post about it on LinkedIn. They are great for generating conversation and engagement with other people in the industry. Now, you can also post takeaways from events you have attended, networking events or business conferences, or even workshops you've attended, books you have read, books you would recommend to other people, podcasts you'd recommend to other people, and even share articles that you have read or you found online that were really interesting and you think would be helpful for other people as well. So there's a variety of things that you can share, types of posts and content that you can share on LinkedIn. Maybe I'll do another YouTube video about that. If you're interested in that, let me know in the comments below and I might create that for you. But there's a lot of things that you can post on LinkedIn. And one tip I have for you is if you follow someone or are connected with someone on LinkedIn and you really admire the content that they share, then try to analyze their content. Try to look at what kind of content they post and replicate it for yourself. Don't copy their posts, of course, but replicate those types of posts. It's not hard to become more visible at work, and you certainly don't have to be self-promotional or braggy or salesy in order to do that. I hope this video will help you start to become more visible at work. If you did like the tips in this video, please let me know in the comments below which tip did you like best, or which tip do you think you're going to implement first. I would love to know, so let me know in the comments below. Now, if you did like this video, hit the like button. Make sure you subscribe to this channel because I release videos every week for emerging leaders. So hit the notification bell if you don't want to miss out on those videos. Thank you so much for watching, and I will see you next week in another video.